by you. Here comes the Winchester, carry on my way for sound. Oh my God!
Dude.
Welcome to Recaps Rants with me, Raul Rodriguez, or
Yes.
the alternate name. Troy doesn't watch TV; he only watches reality shows.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Hey, you added
Troy,
it. It wasn't. It was just I didn't watch any TV. But you're right. I only watch Big Brother. That's my one show.
And those guys in underwear fighting.
And wrestling. That's good. WrestleMania was awesome, man. Dude, okay, actually, I have a question. Have you ever watched wrestling? I'm sure you have, right?
Lucha Libre, Mexico.
so like Jack Black.
Not Nacho Libre.
Not Nacho Libre, okay. But no, man, it's been a while since the last Recaps and Rants, and I think this will be fun today. We have a bunch to go through, so.
Well, it's because you always put me on hiatus.
It's not me, it's you, I swear.
Okay, let's first. This has been in the works for like 2 weeks because Troy didn't want to. We didn't have a lot of time to record, but finally we're gonna review the biggest crossover of all time. Fuck Infinity War.
No, fuck you.
Scooby-Doo.
No.
Oh my God.
Okay, I get it. I get Supernatural, Scooby-Doo. It's cool, but Infinity War is better. You can't say that.
Sorry.
Okay, fair.
So, Scooby-Doo is my favorite show
That's
of
fair.
my childhood. And my favorite show of my teenage and adult years to cross over. It was the perfect crossover for me.
Well, and I guess before we go into your review, I want you to go through, like, you got to go to a special event. Like, break it down. Tell me what happened. Like, if you got to see anything cool.
Went to, there's a certain person, we're not going to name this person. He always tags me and everything. And so this person told me, tagged me that there was going to be, the Paley Fest, there was going to be a Supernatural panel. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, maybe it's going to be like a regular panel. Like Paley Fest, they only do like questions, like Q&As. And then I read the article, and they were gonna show the Scooby-Natural episode early, and I was like, And then he said it was going to be in the double theater. I was like, oh no, I have to go. I paid the $50 for it. I didn't pay the full price $70 because I have a coupon. I found a coupon. Well, wait a moment. Stupid phone. How do I put out this? Oh. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're there. I was just texting. Okay. I was just on my phone too. So.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool.
It was in the Dolby Theater, and I was like, oh. So I went there. At first, in the Hollywood and Highland Center, they have the Mystery Machine next to the Impala, and like so many people, Troy. They were like, that's the other thing that I hate a little from the Supernatural fandom. 90% are female. There were not a lot of guys.
It's true. Is it like it's all like teens, right? Like Tumblr.
There was also a lot of teenagers, Tumblr, but there's also a lot of ladies from my age. It's like that 20%.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so they were like all surrounding the car, and then Jensen and Jerry showed up with Misha, and there was also someone dressed as Scooby-Doo taking photos. And then I went into the Dolby Theater, and in my head, I was imagining myself in a tux getting into the Oscars, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is my seat. And I was imagining myself already like seated, and I was like, I imagined it like it was going to be the Oscars. Number one, the Dolby Theater is really small, and in the TV it looks like more bigger. I was waiting for like a really big ass old theater, and so and also another thing. Even though I have lost a lot of weight, I barely fit it in that seat.
Oh, is it? It's like one of those older, like, those older seats are so small.
And also, I have a really long ass legs, so my legs
You're tall.
They were touching the other row. And like I feel bad for all of the Jennifer Lawrences and all of the actresses with big dresses. I feel bad for Guillermo del Toro staying there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh. And then, oh my God, all of the screaming, Troy, when they showed out the episode. The moment when they got stuck into the TV. The moment when you see Castiel saying hi to Scooby. And when Castiel says, well, this dog can talk. Like, oh, what is happening here?
So,
and like, oh my God, everybody was laughing so hard and clapping. Oh my God, it was a beautiful experience, and also seeing the Q&A.
So that's what I want to ask. Do we know? So it was the original Scooby Gang that came and voiced.
Of course, not the original actors. There's some I think that the only original one is Freddy.
Okay, and that's Scream, right? Matthew Lillard or whatever.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
He has done Shaggy since the live action movies.
Oh wow.
He has doing the voices for the cartoons since then, since like 15 years ago.
So he's cashing his paychecks and he's going to the bank.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And that's the other thing. Matthew Lillard, he's a perfect Shaggy.
He is. That guy is super underrated. 100%. Like, I go back always to Scream, and his role in Scream is one of the best I've ever seen, like, in a horror film, so.
And I know that a lot of Scooby-Doo purists didn't like the live-action movies.
Oh my God, fuck them. Those movies are awesome.
I like the live-action movies, and for me, the casting was on point, only even though I like Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr. didn't fit as Fred, but the other ones, they were perfect casting.
Yeah, I love Vilma, and I love Sarah Gillar or whatever.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah. She was cool. So yeah, let's get into the episode then. Give me your thoughts. Let me hear everything you got to say, because I'm really excited to hear.
Number one, seeing Dean getting the advantage of him being a cartoon. That was one of my biggest highlights of the whole episode. Like, the first time they get stuck into the TV and they were like, oh my God, we're in a cartoon. And like, but how? And then Dean's like, and then he slaps Sam, and you see his hand stabbing Sam's face. And I'm like, I will do the same thing. Like, trying to prove it we're really cartoons, I would do something really stupid, like to prove it we're a cartoon. And seeing Dean fanboying when he sees the Mystery Machine and he sees the Scooby Gang in the restaurant, he's like, oh my God, it's the Scooby Gang. And I was like, oh, and dips of Daphne. Of course you go directly to Daphne. Even though, like, even my mom, I said it to my mom, I was like, I would totally also would do it with Velma. I don't care.
Hey, that's Hawkeye's wife.
My mom said, I was like, of course you would do it with both. I was like, yeah.
That is Hawkeye's wife, right? That played,
Yeah, Linda Cardellini, I think.
Yeah, Freaks and Geek. Yeah.
And so, then, when Dean sees Shaggy and Scooby making their big ass sandwiches, and he also stretches his mouth to eat the sandwich also. Oh my God, that was hilarious. The race between Fred and the Mystery Machine and the Impala, and then when Fred wins and Dean is like, Fred. And the other thing that I like when Dean says, oh my God, we're in the episode like Friday's No Delight, and he knows every single beat about the episode. And the thing that I love the most, Sam trying to ruin the perspective of the situation.
Yeah.
Like, even Dean says, I was like, but we cannot say to them that we're that they're cartoons. We cannot say to them about their demons and ghosts that really exist. Like, and also I love the comparison when he says, we technically do the same thing. We go to shady houses, we go to hunt ghosts, we resolve mysteries, and then Sam says, but our ghosts are not doing masks. They're trying to do real estate scams.
Yeah.
And Dina's like, well, that's kind of true.
It's always like the end of the world shit with them.
Yeah. And so, then when they go into the house and seeing the Scooby Gang reacting to all of the bodies that people died, that was so cool. And also seeing a PG-13 Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so damn awesome. Seeing Dean failing after time and after time getting with Daphne. And that's the other thing with Daphne. What the hell does she see in Fred? I'm the same opinion with Dean. Even when I was little, I was like, what the hell does Daphne see in Fred? He's a random ass white dude with blonde hair. I don't see what she sees in Fred. Maybe Fred is good with sex or something.
Yeah, well, Freddie Prinze Jr., he's sexy, you know that.
But Freddie Prinze Jr., he didn't sell the blonde hair.
That's true.
That's my problem with the Scooby-Doo live action movies.
No, dude, that's awesome. Overall, what would you give?
Also, did you saw the Scrappy-Doo cameo?
Where? What? Maybe I'm blanking.
In the scene when they're starting to do the Scooby-Doo chasing, like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Where and you seen them doing the classic door scene?
Yeah.
In all of the ways that they're opening the door, going through them, you can see Scrappy-Doo really quickly running.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like the whole audience went crazy, and I was like, oh my God, it's Scrappy-Doo! It was so quick.
Oh, that is that number. That's still number one, right? The when Scrappy is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That was in Scooby-Doo 1.
I love that. That was Rowan Atkinson or whatever.
Yeah, I also like that twist that Scrappy-Doo was the villain, because that's the other thing. I didn't knew until I saw the Scooby-Doo movie that a lot of the fandoms hated Scrappy-Doo. I like Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, I've always loved him too, and that's awesome. I'm glad that they even threw him in there.
Character that I hated so much, talking about Scooby-Doo? The cousin of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah.
Remember it was like a gray dog?
Yeah.
That's the character that I hated.
Dude, I know we always say this when we talk about shows, but we totally should do a Scooby-Doo review.
Yeah, and that's why I also talked to Nolan and Morgan, because they're big-ass Scooby-Doo fans. They even make an episode talking about Scooby-Doo.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And I told them since a year ago, I was like, oh my God, you need to see the Supernatural crossover. And I think that these two, they haven't seen the episode yet, because that's the other thing. I hate that a lot of people said that, oh my God, I don't want to see the crossover because I don't know nothing about Supernatural. But Troy, you have only seen like 2 episodes of Supernatural.
Well, more than that, but yeah.
You noticed, remember that I told you months ago with my speculation, you noticed that this episode was a standalone episode.
Exactly. I went in, I didn't, like, that's the thing. I kind of knew the premise of who these guys were. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, it's not like me going and watching the finale of Game of Thrones. Because I had no idea what the fuck was going on. But at least with this, it's like, oh, no, I get it. I knew the characters, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, Scooby-Doo is incredible, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the coolest, if not one of the best crossover ideas that ever happened on television. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's the... and I also am gonna say, fuck Arrow, the Arrowverse, and Flash. This is the best crossover ever.
True. And the fact that they got Scooby-Doo
when I was
and
little,
yeah.
Seeing the Flintstones and the Jensens, that was mind blowing for me.
No. If we're talking about that, one of the best is Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, and Wizards of Waverly Place. That was the jam. That was lit. That was so fucking awesome.
I was never a Disney Channel kid, so I never saw one of those shows.
Dude, yeah, that's weird. I was so into that. I don't know. I was a teenage girl, apparently.
Talking about my teen years, and seeing a TV show was when iCarly and Drake and Josh had a mini crossover.
Drake and Josh, yes, that was amazing. I watched all of iCarly too. That's a good show.
Yeah, I also watched almost all of iCarly. But going back to Scooby Natural, when I was seeing a double theater, I imagined myself watching the episode, and then I imagined my version of me, a seven-year-old me, watching Scooby-Doo. I know that 7-year-old me would also enjoy the hell of this episode because he loves also seeing gore and all of the violence.
Yeah.
So he would love it to get that mixed with Scooby-Doo.
True.
He will enjoy the hell out of it. 7-year-old me also.
I mean,
without even seeing Supernatural.
If I'm being honest, I'm surprised they haven't done an R-rated live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Morgan and Nolan, they pitched an idea for an R-rated Scooby-Doo.
That would be amazing.
And it has a twist.
Okay, we'll have to talk to them about it then.
The Scooby snacks, there's like a drug in them, and Scooby-Doo were never real. It was part of the imagination of Shaggy on all of his drugs.
Oh my god. Wow.
And it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, holy shit. Holy shit. That is one of the fucking coolest things I've ever heard. I need that.
And going back to Scooby Natural, I think that I was a little disappointed, even though the episode is fucking perfect. It's an 11 for me. There was no mention of a Scooby snack.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I wanted to see Sam or Dean or even Castiel trying a Scooby snack. No mention of the Scooby snacks. I was like, they didn't get the rights for a Scooby snack box? Or they forgot about it?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the other thing.
Are they real? Can you actually buy them?
I think so.
Like, are they like actual dog treats, or are they like for humans?
I have seen Scooby snacks as dog treats.
That would be awesome.
Going back also to a Scooby Natural, the other thing that I really love is the whole mixture when Shaggy gets hurt, and he even does a really cool meta joke. I was like, I have been thrown from an airplane and I was fine. And I was like, that's true. The Scooby Gang have survived a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And then when they explain the whole thing, and when Sam and Dean they're like seeing Shaggy and Scooby threatening them, I was like, oh my god, kill his ass! I have the shotgun! And then they all went really super crazy.
Yeah.
And like Shaggy, and then Sam was like, no, it's not really a ghost. Vilma was right. And I tried to explain the whole thing for the Scooby Gang going back to normal. That was also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the when they go back to the real world, that it was a ghost was the responsible for the whole thing.
Yeah. And
they said they're soul free. And when they seen that it was also a real estate scam, and also Sam says, "Oh, Velma was right all along. It was the shady real estate guy after all." And then when the guy says, "I could have get away with it if it was for those meddling kids," and I was like, "Dean, he said the line." And then he goes to scream, "Scooby-Dooby-Doo!" And then Cass, "Dean, you're not a talking dog." And oh my god, I love that episode so much. I already have seen it like 5 times. But what's your opinion of it?
Honestly, it just the best thing I can say about this episode is the entire time watching it, all I could think of is how I was a kid watching Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best compliment I can give it. Because I don't know, and like I said, other than it also being like a single story that, you know, and how they tie it in at the end being like, oh, it's actually kind of like a Scooby-Doo episode, right? Like you were just saying. I loved the tone and the feeling of it. The gore was awesome. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I love, like, you wrote me a list earlier of all these kind of meta episodes for Supernatural. And like, I swear to God, if I could just have a vacation and like just sit down and watch them all, I'm so stoked to finish watching season 1. Like, this show is incredible.
For me, that's the other thing. Before seeing Scooby-Natural the first time, it had really high expectations because my favorite episode of the meta episodes is the musical episode in season 10. And because that episode was funny, and it was also a love letter to the fans.
Yeah.
Because they acknowledged so many things of the fans, how much we love the show so much. And making a musical episode, talking about the story, and the songs were catchy, and making that episode also being meta and so funny, and it makes you cry. Oh my God, Troy. When you see that episode, the first time I saw, and I cried a little, that episode made me cry so much. And also because at the end, they also confirmed a theory of the fans they have for like 5 years about a character in the show.
Mm.
And so when I saw Scooby-Doo, I was like, it had really high expectations. And when I saw Scooby-Doo, I was like, I like Scooby-Natural almost a little more from the musical episode, but it's a tie for me because the musical episode has a lot of special things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it just, in the
But
time it came out, yeah.
I didn't expect it for Supernatural to go animated in that way and making, that's the other thing that I told you, talking about all of the recaps that I have done. Do you remember that I told you that for like 2 seasons, they haven't been a funny episode?
Yeah.
I think they were building up for this episode to be one of the funniest episodes of the whole show.
Mm. Yeah. I'm excited to watch them all for sure.
And only with those ratings of that episode, already the CW renewed the show for another season.
That's awesome.
And that's the other thing. I would like really have to see a whole feature length, like an hour and a half episode of the Supernatural characters being in Scooby-Doo. Those 40 minutes, even though they were really beautiful and special, imagine if they would have done an hour and a half, a 90-minute episode.
Like, well, and they could, because I know, like, even talking about WWE, they've done a full-length Scooby-Doo movie. They've done movies with Kiss, you know, like, Supernatural definitely could do, like, an animated type movie like that, and that would be awesome. And it would fucking sell. Could you imagine if they sold, like,
That's
everyone.
The other thing that I was thinking about. I was like, I'm surprised they haven't even put out the episode in, like, DVD, because it will sell. Only that episode with Scooby-Doo, it will sell a lot of copies.
Or even or do, like, a box set of all the seasons so far, and it's like an exclusive edition that has the episode, the Scooby-Doo episode, like DVD with it.
Yeah, but the episode's gonna be on the box set for season 13. I was saying like making it only for the Scooby-Doo fans. They're not gonna pay $50 for the season 13 box set for only one episode.
I'm just thinking, like, in a studio sense, they would do some shit like buy this $300 box set and you get the special Scooby-Doo episode.
I know they will do it, but right now in the age we're living, and I think that maybe they're not gonna do the DVD thing because we have iTunes and all of that crap.
True.
Yeah,
but
anyway, why don't
was beautiful. Let's go to the other show because we have so little time. There's a lot of things that I haven't said about the episode that I love, but we have to go on.
Well, yeah, let's move on. So, what do you want to go next? Do you want me to do a quick WrestleMania recap before we do like?
Do it, because that's the thing that I don't know nothing about.
Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of background. I grew up watching a lot of wrestling.
Lately, I haven't watched a lot of it because I've just been busy. My dad watches it all the time, but I love watching the main events. So, the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I fucking love it. So fun. I'm just going to break down the matches quickly and tell you kind of my thoughts. It started off with a Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Now, Raul, this is a match where you pretty much get 20... I don't remember how many guys, but it's like, imagine like 25 guys in the ring. It starts, and the last person that's in the ring wins. Right? So, very simple. Woken Matt Hardy won. Matt Hardy is like a classic. I used to love him growing up with the Hardy Boys, with him and Jeff. So, seeing him win was awesome. The match wasn't really special. I don't know, nothing, there was nothing really cool with it. It was what it was. I did like at the ending though. The one guy that he ended up defeating came back, and they became a team with Wyatt. So that was cool. So that happened. There was a cruiserweight championship match. It was okay. There was a women's battle royale, and Naomi won that. That was okay. That's the same as the guy match where they all started in the ring, last person remaining. Then we kind of get into the main show. So the main show started off with the Intercontinental Champion. And this was a 3-way match between 3 guys. Seth Rollins ended up defeating The Miz to becoming champion, which makes sense because The Miz actually just had a kid a couple days ago. So I'm sure he wants to take the time off to raise his kid with his wife. So I get why they wrote him to lose the belts. Overall, it was a cool match. Yeah, let's move on. The next match was incredible. So this was for the women's champion match. So Raul, they had Ric Flair.
No, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You're talking Chinese to me.
Okay. Anyway, there's a guy, old wrestler. His daughter is women's champion right now. Okay. There was a female Japanese wrestler that came from Japan, and she's never been defeated. So they were fighting for the main women's belt.
Okay.
What ended up happening is the white girl ended up defeating the Japanese girl and breaking her record of not ever, losing. And she remained champion. So it was an awesome match. It was like lots of cool moves, just brilliant all around. It was really, really good. The next match was a fatal 4-way match. It was a bunch of I don't remember. It was for the U.S. title, yeah. And it was Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Rusev. This was a fine match, nothing special. Then going on, the next match was this one was awesome. So, Ronda Rousey, right? Yeah. So she made her brand new first appearance on WrestleMania as a wrestler.
Okay.
She was versing Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, which technically they're like the guys that are like the CEOs. They're the boss. Like they run the company. So Ronda Rousey had their fight. She is incredible. You should see some of the stuff. She was going in for jabs. And what was really, really awesome about this match, Raul, is that usually in wrestling, like girls and guys don't really fight each other. It's always been guys fight guys, girls have girls, they have their own division. But what was really cool about this match is they were kind of mixed. Like Ronda was fighting Triple H and Kurt was fighting Stephanie McMahon, and it was like, I'm like, wow, this is really, really awesome. But no, this match was awesome. Like Ronda Rousey just impressed the hell out of me, and I'm really excited to see what she does next in the WWE. I want to know what also her paycheck is, because I'm sure she's getting paid so much fucking money.
Oh yeah, because even though I don't know a lot about Ronda Rousey, but I think they kick her out from the other
UFC,
other sport.
Yeah. Well, I know she did leave that, so we'll continue. So the next match was a triple threat match. This was for the tag team champions. Nothing special here. The Bludgeon Brothers won, so that was cool. Now,
holy crap! How long is WrestleMania?
5 hours.
Damn.
5 hours. Yeah, it's so long. I only have a couple more matches though, so that's good. The next match.
One question: it has commercials.
Yeah, but it's all WWE. Like they have their own network, so there's commercials, but it's built into the show, and it's like advertising the show, so it's not really commercials, you know.
Ah, okay. Okay, I get it.
So the next match, our boy John Cena, he's been begging for a WrestleMania match. He's like, I want to fight, I want to do something. So he challenged The Undertaker. And The Undertaker is old. He hasn't wrestled in a long time. He had knee surgery.
The Undertaker is the guy with the cape, right?
Yeah, and he put it this way, he's been there since WrestleMania 1. He was there with like Hulk Hogan and like all that stuff. Right? So John Cena's been challenging him, and he retired last year. So no one thought he was going to come. Anyway, all of a sudden, Undertaker shows up and absolutely brutalizes John Cena. Me and my dad were on the edge of our seats. We're like, holy fuck, this guy is probably 70 years old or something now. He's going around the ring like he used to be like in his prime. He was like, he just kicked John Cena's ass. So he won that match, and that was awesome. The next match was Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. This match was awesome. I really liked it. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are incredible wrestlers and promoters. Shane McMahon was also like, he's so good. So in this match, what ended up happening is before it started, the two guys ended up hurting one. So it ended up being one guy versus two guys.
Okay.
And the one guy versus the two guys, he was so incredible. Shane McMahon, he was doing like he was fighting both of them at the same time. It was like some Arkham Knight shit, like Batman style shit. It was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So that match was good. And then kind of rounding out the last 4 matches here there was another women's champion, Nia Jax won. So that was cool. Nothing really to say about that. Now this next match pissed me off. That was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. This was for another big championship belt. It was slow. Nothing really happened. It was boring. I didn't really like it. Then we move on. Now, Raul, this next part is hilarious. Okay, so there's a tag team championship belt. This is the second last match of the night.
Okay.
The guy comes out, and no one knows who his partner's going to be. So they're like, he grabs the microphone. He's in the ring, and he's like, okay, you guys want to know who my partner is? And everyone's cheering, and he's like, it's going to be one of you. And he points to the audience. He goes in the audience, looks around, picks a 10-year-old kid.
Oh my god.
Brings him to the ring. And then he takes out the two guys, and they both win the belts. And the 10-year-old boy wins the tag team belts in WrestleMania.
Holy crap.
Apparently, the kid was one of the referee's sons. So, obviously, everything was all scripted and fun. But I'm like, that's kind of cool. Yeah,
because I was like, that sounds scripted. That doesn't sound real.
Yeah, no. I mean, in theory, it was cool, but...
If I was there in the audience...
and they took my kid.
I could have been selected.
Or, like, could you imagine, like, a parent, like, a big wrestling guy comes in, steals your 10-year-old kid, throws him in the ring?
Because when you said that, I was like, oh, if it was in Mexico, that kid would have got it beaten up. And I was like, yeah, this is the United States. That kid will be safe. That's scripted. Fake.
Right,
fake
yeah.
News. I was waiting for the kid getting beaten up. I was like, that's not television for me.
True. And then that's all. That the last match of the night was Brock Lesnar, because he's champion right now, Raul. He's like the big champion. And he was fighting Roman Reigns, who happens actually to be The Rock's cousin. So this match happened. There was blood. Roman Reigns got cut after getting punched in the head so much. So his whole face was bloodied. Anyway, Brock Lesnar. The problem I have with Brock Lesnar, and my dad was mentioning this too, is that because he's from the UFC, he kind of just comes in the ring and throws people around, and he's not careful about it. Like, obviously, wrestling, there's a technique to it because you have to sell fighting someone, and it has to be absolutely safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for him, he just throws people around. Like, they threw him into the announce table, and it broke, and, like, into poles, and into, just, like, I was like, it would hurt. Like, their match was like, yeah, I was like, no thank you, this would really hurt. So Brock Lesnar ended up winning, and that was WrestleMania. That was 5 hours long. It was good. I liked it. But
the thing you just said, that's why maybe I'm not that interested in that kind of wrestling, because I know it sounds really sadistic of me, but I want to see real violence.
Yeah. Well, you would like UFC then, for sure.
Well, maybe I'm interested because that's the thing. Like, when I was seeing Lucha Libre, when I was little, I was like, I remember there was a match that I liked, but then they started to do the WrestleMania thing, making it with storylines and all of those things. I was like, ugh. I remember because my grandfather, even my father, they were taking me to those things. I was like, no, I don't want to go anymore. And I didn't talk him because I didn't like it because it felt fake. I wanted to see, and since I was there, I wanted to see real things.
Raul, do you have your own like fight club that you go to and you watch people just brutally beat the shit out of each other?
Yeah.
No, like I said, wrestling. It's honestly like it's like theater. Honestly, it's theater.
Yeah, it's like theater. It's like
it's Shakespeare, but current.
Smalldown because
yes.
Like, it's the same thing, but without them killing each other.
Yeah, true.
I would really like to see John Roca versus someone in a real ring. That would be a cool match.
Yeah, Roca versus Bibiani.
Oh, I think that even though I love Bibiani, but I have a feeling that Roca will really kiss his ass.
But yeah, no, I would.
Even though Bibiani, he's a big guy.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, and so.
But yeah, no. Overall, I would give it.
That's the thing with me with wrestling. Maybe I could see one of those.
Honestly,
maybe I need to see
best
a character that I like.
I'll tell you though, like I think the best thing that we got to do is like the first time you watch wrestling again, like let me just take you to an event because that's how you're supposed to watch it.
Maybe that's the thing I was going to say. Maybe I need to see it live instead of seeing it on the TV.
Exactly. If you go live, then you see it all, and it's just it's like going to a sporting event, right? It's a whole fun kind of experience. So, no, I thought this episode was great.
When I was little, I was not a fan of seeing football on the TV until my father, I was like 7 or 8, took me to our local team, the Tigers in Mexico. And to me, one of the matches, and that's when I started to like seeing football. And I was like, oh, okay. Now when I was seeing on the TV, I can feel the action more vibrant because I saw already a match live.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to only 2 in my life, and they were great. I love them. But they don't come here that often, so.
Yeah, but I remember back in high school when I have a lot of friends in American football teams. They took me to their matches, and I also went in like a Super Bowl, not Super Bowl, like a random game. I never got into American football. Never got it.
No, I'm not a football guy either. No, I don't either. Yeah, I agree. But no, why don't we move on to? I'm curious about this next one. And I guess this next one we can kind of talk about a little bit, but then we'll speed round through a bunch. You saw a series of unfortunate events, correct?
Yes.
I'm curious about this because I love Jim Carrey. And
yes.
I want to know kind of how it compares to the show.
Okay. You just said one of the things, a quick thing about season 1. Season 1 is the whole movie with Jim Carrey. But the last 2 episodes is a thing that you didn't see in the movie because the format in the show that each book has 2 episodes.
How many books are there?
There are 13 books.
Oh, okay.
And so in the first movie we saw with Jim Carrey, that was the first 3 books. And so in the first season was the first 4 books.
Okay.
And so for me, season 1, because I already knew 80% of the show, I already knew every single event, I already knew what the actions of the characters. The only new thing about me about season 1 was the last 2 episodes, because there were things that I didn't know about.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I'm a fan of the Jim Carrey movie, and that's the other thing. I was talking to Nolan like 2 weeks ago, and because you know that Nolan, he reads a lot of books. He thinks that Neil Patrick Harris is a better iteration of Carnola, and for me, I like Jim Carrey more because Jim Carrey feel like a threat. He feel like a villain.
I will never be threatened by Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris, I don't feel him as a villain. I feel him as a funny character that tries to kill these kids.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a big threat. But my opinion changed a little in season 2. Because number 1, now Count Olaf is more violent. But he's still funny. But now I can feel the threat with the children getting away from this psychopath that wants to kill them to get their fortune, to get their money.
Mm-hmm.
And so with season 2, I like it so much better because number 1, I didn't know nothing about these storylines from the books, because I was, like I told you, I only saw the movie. There was so completely new information for me. I really like the new characters. I like the new settings that the children were on. But I think maybe that's a thing from the books. It felt a little repetitive because it's the same thing. That's the other thing that I like from the show. It also goes really meta. Like in the last 2 episodes, even the narrator is that guy Patrick Warburton from Seinfeld.
I thought of the guy from the Family Guy.
Yeah, he's the voice
Peter.
of the handicap guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was also in Seinfeld. He was a guest star.
Oh, cool. He's been on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and so he's Lemony Snicket, and he's always narrating all of the events as we see in the show, and he's also making meta jokes about it.
Yeah, I remember I started the first episode when it first came out, so I remember seeing him at the beginning, and I kind of know that style, so yeah, I remember it. That's the one thing with this show.
I know that you did the Troy, only watching the pilot of the first 2 episodes.
True.
And so, going back to, they make a meta joke. I was like, I think that these children will be tired of going into the same setting, going into another Guardian, seeing Count Olaf trying to kill them, kill that Guardian, and they go to the same cycle. And like in the last 4 episodes, they changed that formula. Now the children, a little spoiler, they get accused of murder.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, finally something different. And I was like, yes, thank you. And so Count Olaf dressed Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion was a guest star this season.
And he was also a guest star in
Santa Clarita Diet. I even tell this in Twitter. I was like, does Nathan Fillion have a contract with Netflix?
I was just going to say, he's cashing in his Netflix payments.
Yeah. And so Nathan Fillion, another spoiler, he dies by episode like 6 or 7 of this season. Then Count Olaf killed him, but he disguised his cadaver as Count Olaf. So the children are getting accused of killing Count Olaf, but Count Olaf is really dressing as other random characters, getting away with the murder of Nathan Fillion.
That's awesome.
And I was like, this is a cool twist, because also you're seeing the children running away from Count Olaf and running away from the authorities because they want him for murder.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And it was a really cool season. I will give it a 9 because I don't see Neil Patrick Harris as a big threat, but I still love the
Well, he's
progress.
awesome. Yeah.
Because as a Neil Patrick Harris is really like he's a really awesome dude in real life. He's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
He always will be for me Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. For me, he's the dude. He's Neil Patrick Harris from
Harold Kumar.
Harold. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that you haven't seen How I Met Your Mother. Also, you.
Hey, I saw the finale when you find out. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I do know. I actually I don't remember it now because I'm blanking. But I know someone had told me the ending.
Maybe I told you that at the ending.
Maybe.
Okay, and so yeah, we'll give it a 9. It was a really good season. I'm so excited for the last one.
Yeah, I want to watch it.
Yeah, because next season is gonna be the last 4 books.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna watch. This is one of the shows that's high on my list of watching because I really want to watch it.
Yeah, because like I told you, if you with season 1 be just a little patient. That's the thing that I did with me.
And I don't remember the movie.
Because I already saw the movie. Because I was a big fan of the movie. I saw that movie like 10 times.
I saw it a bunch when I was a kid, but I don't remember it. So I'm sure when I watch the show, it's gonna be all fresh to me. So that'll be good.
Yeah, so that will be cool for you.
But okay, sweet. Let's speed around through these next ones because I'm very curious. We'll leave Trump to the end.
Yeah, that's a long one.
So let's get into it. Let's go into Big Bang Theory. So you got to catch up on these.
Yeah, that's the other thing with Big Bang. The same thing. They're not that funny anymore. But I still watch them because I love the characters.
Yes,
and finally, they're doing a hint that Sheldon and Amy they're gonna get married by the season finale. Because they're already planning the wedding, they already have a date and everything. There was an episode with Bill Gates as guest star.
They even had Stephen Hawking, rest in peace.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking was in a lot of episodes, but Stephen Hawking cannot be there anymore.
No, true. Well, they could probably still use his body and hook up the computer still. I'm sorry, that was so insensitive.
Yeah, you're being a little insensitive because that's the other thing. There was a running joke throughout the whole series before this last season of Howard always mimicking Stephen Hawking. And so I was like, I think they cannot do that running joke anymore because Stephen Hawking is dead already.
Yeah. He was brilliant. But so yeah, it's just not funny anymore, hey?
It's a little funny, but not as oh my god, I'm laughing my ass off. Funny.
Like the first season was awesome. Because I did watch a bunch of this.
The first 5 seasons were great. After season 6 is when it started to go down.
Overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I didn't like from the Big Bang Theory. Like the first 3 seasons were like really like adult-oriented jokes.
And now it's more family?
Yeah, that's the thing that I really hated from the Big Bang Theory. It's really like very like, oh my god, we have a lot of ratings. We need to make the jokes universal.
Got it. Yeah. That also kind of reminds me of like Modern Family because it was very much the same thing too, hey?
Yeah, that's true. Modern Family was very adult in the first seasons.
But yeah, no. So what would you rate so far? I guess these episodes that you saw.
A 6.
Okay, cool. Now this next one I'm curious about because I know it's coming to an end and I'm sad. The middle. I will never hate having you talk to me about these kids and the whole family. So.
Yeah, like they're really doing the heavy. Like we're almost there. Ending note because there was an episode with Mike, the father. He gets a promotion from his job, so he has to go to a corporate office. He doesn't want to leave the quarry, and so all of his employees they don't want to say goodbye. And that's the other thing with Mike; he doesn't want to show his feelings. And at the end, he feels sad and he's gonna miss them. And then the guy from corporate says, "Oh, we don't have any space for you here in the building. You need to go. You're gonna have your own trailer in the quarry." So he has to go back to the quarry, and the guy says, "We don't say goodbye to you. We make your own party." And now it's not the same. And I'm like, oh, so he has to go back to that setting because he's not good with goodbyes. And Frankie says to him, I was like, that's true. We need to prepare to say goodbyes and make changes. And then the next episode, it focuses on Axel, that Axel never says thank you when he receives a gift. And so Frankie finds out a bag of all of the notes from people that send them money, a toy. Since he was little, he never sent out a thank you note. So the whole episode focuses on him writing thank you notes and finally realizing that Axel, he needs to be more assertive. He has to be more nice.
That's good. I like that, like moral lessons like that in shows.
Yeah, and so that was the focus on that episode. And the next one was with Sue, with his best friend. I always forget his name. His name is Brandon, I think. His gay best friend, and so he suggested to Sue that maybe she needs to change her look to impress Sean, because she's ready to confess her love to Sean, because now Sue, she doesn't have anyone anymore. She needs to make the move, and so her plan is to give Sean the snow globe and to confess her love to Sean. And so when she goes in her way, she sees Sean with another girl. And I'm like, oh my God, why are they doing this to me? And then she decides to change her look. And when she goes to visit Sean in the last minutes of the episode, she almost opens her bag to give the snow globe, and Sean says, "Oh, finally you're here, Sue. I want to give you this good news. I'm gonna go to Arabia to an internship, and I'm not gonna return in a long time." And Sue, she's like, "Oh," and she didn't give the snow globe to Sean, and she congratulates Sean, and you hear Frankie. In the narration, she says, sometimes you need to make the move without waiting. And that's the thing with Sue. Like, she waited a long time, and now she's going to lose Sean.
Yeah.
And that was the last episode. That's the latest episode of the middle.
Wow. And what would you rate? What's everything sitting at? A 9, yeah? That's awesome.
I won't give it a 10 until I see Sue and Sean finally kiss and getting to be a couple.
True. That's actually something that I loved about Santa Clarita season 2, if you know what I'm saying. There's a scene that I was so fucking happy. But we'll get into that. And actually, we can maybe announce that quickly before we get into the last two things here. We are going to be recording our Santa Clarita series review. That's a show that I absolutely love, and I ended up watching it. So we're going to do our recap and talk about that on a separate video, which should be out either later tonight or, some point tomorrow.
And also, audience, Troy watch another TV show. That's a rare thing.
We should get a special banner or some a special thing that happens every time I watch the show because it's so special.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, why don't we get into Will and Grace? Let's just go right into it. How many episodes of this did you watch, and kind of what's going on with this?
It was the latest 2 episodes.
Okay.
It was the last 2 episodes of the season.
Oh, okay.
That Karen has an affair with Alec Baldwin.
Oh shit, he's in the show?
But not the real Alec Baldwin. He's a character.
Oh,
but
okay.
he's Alec Baldwin guest starring as a random side piece of Karen, and he says, if you don't you need to choose me or Stan, Karen's real husband. And so that's a running joke from Will and Grace, the original show. We never saw the husband of Karen, because they always set up in the joke that he was a really big guy, rich, and he would never leave his room because he's so rich, and he's so fat. And so that was a running joke from the whole show. And I was like, you need to choose me or Stan. And then at the end, Karen chooses Stan because Stan has the money. Grace, she invited her father to move in with her in the apartment because Will make a stupid comment in the episode before that. And so Grace has her revenge of having the mother of Will to move into the apartment. and they don't enjoy their both parents being in the same apartment, and then their parents have sex, and it goes really into more awkward setting. And also Jack meets a random ass dude in Italy, and then he goes back into the States with him, and it's like, oh my god, I enjoy being with this guy so much. And then they're like, Will and Grace was like, oh my god, our parents had sex. And then the parents got up on the room. I was like, son, I want to ask your mother's hand in marriage. I was like, I'm not gonna give you permission. And I was like, oh, I don't care. Are you gonna marry me? I was like, yes. And then Jack says, that's true. We don't need to be this boring like Will and Grace. Like, even the parents, I was like, even though you're gay and you're straight, says to Grace, you have been together for over 20 years, living in the same apartment, working together, and you were never doing something. Yeah. You were always doing the same thing. You're boring. And that's why the father asked for Grace, Will's mother, to get married and not being boring as Will and Grace. And then Jack says, that's true. Are you going to marry me, guy that I just met 24 hours ago? I was like, yes, I will marry you. And then Karen comes on. I was like, I dumped my side piece because I wanted to stay with Stan because I didn't want it to be boring as Will and Grace. And I was like, and then says Grace, why does everyone want it not to be us? And then Jack says, hey, come in and think about it. If your parents are getting married, you're technically going to be brother and sister. That's a really awkward situation. And that's the ending of the episode.
Huh, okay. Oh, wait, so...
It was not as laugh out loud funny as the latest episodes, but it was okay.
Now, I don't really know...
It was a good season ender.
Now, was this a show that was like a straight and like two straight guys were like married and then one became gay, or are they married? Like, what's the story behind?
If I remember correctly, because I didn't watch a lot of the original show. Yeah. If I remember correctly, Will and Grace, they were a couple, but then Grace catch Will with Jack in the shower, and that's how Will revealed to Grace that he's gay.
Got it. That's awesome then.
And that's how the premise started.
Cool. Okay, sweet. No, that's awesome. That's cool. That's a cool ending. Technically, that's sweet. Did they get renewed?
There's gonna be they got renewed for 2 more seasons.
Oh, awesome. Well, shit. All right, there we go. Now this next show. Well, actually, what would you rate the finale and stuff of this?
I would rate an 8. Also, really quickly before we go to the controversial one.
Yeah.
I saw the first 5 episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead season 3.
Oh shit! Yeah, and.
It has been really good.
I loved.
As always, funny.
See, this is funny because I also have only seen the first episode of Ash vs. Evil Dead season 1.
You bastard! Oh my god! And also Lucy Lawless. Oh, sexy as ever.
What would you rate?
Lucy Lawless. She's my only Wonder Woman.
Yeah, fair.
Sheena forever.
And I heard Sam Raimi made an appearance.
Ooh, I don't remember that. I need to check it out.
Yeah, I heard Sam Raimi made an appearance. And
his brother Ted Raimi made a guest starring appearance.
Yeah, but I heard. I think I don't know who told me, or I read it somewhere. I heard Sam was doing an appearance too, maybe.
Yeah, because Ted Raimi had 2 guest appearances. One is a Nash friend.
Yeah. Well, he was
like 3 episodes, and then he was a creature in the season 2 finale.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I know, well, he was always in the movies.
Yeah, he was that creature from the movies.
Oh, sweet. Talking about...
Yeah, because in Ash vs. Evil Dead, there's a lot of time travel. And my problem with season 3, season 2 ended, a little spoiler, it ended in like an alternate universe.
Oh, awesome.
Thing. Because they destroyed the cabin because they went back to the original timeline in the first movie.
Oh, awesome.
So they're telling us that everything that happened season 1 and 2 and Army of Darkness and all of the movies, technically it happened in another timeline.
Got it. So they're kind of just making it so that they can do whatever they want now.
Making a new story.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
And so that's my problem with season 3. They don't acknowledge what happened in season 2. It feels a little weird. And I heard that there was a lot of problems between the producers and the writers in season 2. That's why they changed the showrunners and a lot of things in season 3, and it shows.
Okay.
Because that was a main plot point from the 2-part series season finale of season 2, and didn't even acknowledge what's happening in season 3. They forgot about that detail.
Oh.
Even though I love the episode so much, and that's the thing, I was like, I would have liked to see them trying to fix that problem.
Exactly, yeah.
Or maybe their way of fixing that problem is not acknowledging it.
Oh, that's true. That's also very true. What would you rate the episode you've seen?
I will give it a 9.
Awesome.
I'm a little like, what are they hinting for this season? Because technically this season there's not like a main villain.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that maybe they're building up the hype of seeing who's gonna be the villain this season.
Okay, yeah. Maybe it's gonna. Yeah, maybe that's gonna be Sam Raimi.
Maybe that could happen.
But I mean, talking about hell and talking about creatures, why don't we talk about Donald Trump? Why is he in the news with Rosanne? Why is this a thing? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. For me, talking about how ignorant sometimes I am, when I was little, when I was a teenager, I never saw Roseanne. I think I only saw like 1 or 2 episodes of the original show. And when I saw the first episode of this new season, I remember why I didn't like Roseanne. I don't like Roseanne Barr at all. I don't like her laughter. I don't like her talking.
Yeah.
And I forgot that Roseanne Barr, the real person, she's a Trump supporter.
See, it's
a thing that I didn't remember.
I'm not going to lie, because she was in one of the apprentices, right?
I think so.
I think, honestly, the reason this show got picked up is I think she went to the studio and said, look, political stuff is so important, like crazy right now. Let's make a show where it's Roseanne reboot, but I'm a Trump support. Like, you know how much press and how much free publicity this got because of it?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the reason why
18 million people saw the premiere.
Jesus Christ. Like, I bet you that was the pitch.
And there's a Hollywood Reporter article that says, I think that was the pitch. And also ABC, sorry if there's a Trump supporter that hears this, but they made this show for the Trump supporters.
Well, yeah, of course. And, I mean, that's not offensive. Like, if you support Trump, you support Trump. That's what you believe. That's okay. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
We just, on this podcast, don't like the guy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with the show. The show has a lot of Trump supporter things, but then we have the character of Laurie Metcalf, that she's a
Lady Bird
supporter. Yeah, from Lady Bird. She was a main character in the original show.
Oh shit!
And so, her character, she's a police cop, a woman police cop, and I think without even mentioning, I think that she's a lesbian character.
Okay.
Because the way that she behaves, the way that she talks. I don't know if that's true because I have never seen the original show. And so that's the other thing with Roseanne. I think that I like was this. One of the daughters has 2 children. A teenage random girl that she's like, oh my god, I love myself and blah blah blah. The random ass teenage girl character.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have an 8-year-old kid that he's gay, and he's a gay kind of kid in a Roseanne setting.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
How they're gonna play that out? And we saw, that's the other thing. John Goodman, he's really good in this. I feel bad for John Goodman to being back in this show because I would like to see him making movies, also especially because ABC already renewed Roseanne for 2 more seasons because of those ratings.
Yeah.
I feel a little sad for John Goodman.
Well, me too, actually.
Yeah. And so there's a scene with John Goodman reacting of how he will not trying to tell his grandson that he's gonna get beat up. He's gonna be weak because of the way that he dresses. And there's another you can see all of his questions and all of that pain and emotion without saying him a lie. That's a really cool scene in that episode in the pilot.
Yeah.
In the first episode of this new season. And then there's in the second episode, one of the other daughters wants to be a surrogate. And there's a scene when John Goodman and Rosanne are talking about, I was like, but we're not gonna put out that our granddaughter is gonna be in that situation. Not only because we're never gonna see our grandson or grandchild, also our daughter is never gonna experience being a mother. Like she will not have her son. And then John Goodman says, but that's the worst thing. Like how am I gonna react to this? Like when I see that grandchild getting born, I could not hold my grandchild because she then has to give that kid away. How are we gonna change her mind? And Rosanne's like, it's our daughter. She's not gonna change her mind. And that was a really cool scene.
Yeah.
And then that scene gets ruined by another Trump joke.
Yeah.
That's a thing I have a mixed feelings with the show because I like John Goodman and the setting with the gay kid and their surrogate. But I don't like Rosanne at all.
No, that's fair. She's an acquired taste.
I don't like the actress. I don't like her jokes. The only moment that I like with Rosanne is in the third episode when she defends herself against the teenage girl because the teenage girl insults Rosanne. And I can see her as a grandmother why he reacted this way because she says the whole setting in that episode is because the girl she occupies all of the she doesn't clean. She occupies all of the washer and dryer because she wants to sell clothing in Etsy. And so at the end, Rosanne was like, okay, you're going to get your clothes out of the dryer and the washer because I need them. And then she says, I'm not going to do this, Grandma. I have my business. And also because I don't want to stay living here with a redneck grandmother as you are. And I was like, oh! I was like, oh! And before it happened, I was like, Rosanne is going to kick her ass. Because if I was Rosanne, I would totally kick her ass because you're insulting me.
Yeah, exactly.
And she grabbed the girl's head and put it on the faucet and started to washing her hair, drowning her in the water.
Actually?
That was funny.
That's funny.
And I was like, that was the only moment that I liked with Rosanne. The character and the actress.
Yeah. Well, that's a shame. Politics.
And I feel guilty that I contributing with the ratings, even though I didn't watch it on TV. I watched it on Hulu.
Yeah.
But still, they count also those ratings. I feel a little bad. I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching. I'm curious how they're gonna do the surrogate storyline.
Yeah.
But I feel conflicted because if I still keep watching, I'm technically supporting the show and I don't want to. But another part of me wants to support it because I'm interested how they're gonna play out the Trump part of it and the non-Trump part of it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm curious. Like, I wonder if they only did it for like the first episode and then it will die down now that it got its huge ratings, or I don't know.
And I heard that they're gonna touch the immigrant situation in like 2-3 episodes.
Oh, good.
And I'm like, I need to see that episode.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I think that I will only see it just for the controversy.
True. To see what the fuck's going on, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't
And
be
feel
invested
bad.
in the characters.
I feel so bad
For John Goodman.
for supporting it. Yeah, I feel bad.
I like John Goodman, and I want him, Steve Buscemi, and Jeff Bridges.
I only seen it for John Goodman and Larry Metcalf.
True. But I think that's it. That's the... What episode? Is this the 5th episode of Recaps and Rants? I haven't even looked. I should look.
I don't know. We have been in hiatus so many times.
Not hiatus.
Also,
no. This is the 6th. This is the 6th.
This show doesn't have a lot of ratings compared to the main show.
True, but I love talking television with you. And yeah, this is the 6th episode, so we got to keep doing these. Because this is fun, man.
Well, it was your idea to spin off only making my recaps of
That's
TV
true.
shows because I watch a lot of TV.
That's true. I am brilliant, so...
I know.
But no, you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, everything at Troy Loxton. Please check out. We're gonna be recording the Monday show later today because today is Monday with a couple guests, so that's gonna be fun. And also check out our special review of Rampage. Raul got to see that early, so we're gonna be recording that. But man, was there anything you wanted to plug before we say goodbye?
Go and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Stardust at Raw
Yes,
RDC.
forgot about that. Stardust. I'm at
Thank
Troy.
you, Stardust, because that's why I go to those special screenings.
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
I don't have to make a line for it. I'm waiting in the sun for like 4 hours.
It's true. Also, I want to say I haven't started watching it yet, but please, if you're watching this or listening to this, go watch Legion from FX. It's incredible.
Oh, I haven't seen season 2 yet.
No, it's apparently so good, and I haven't watched it either, but I do want to promote it because I've heard it's amazing. So do that.
But you saw season 1, right?
The first 2 episodes.
Oh my god. I think you should say only doing the Troy.
Doing the Troy. I did the Troy. And with that being said, thank you, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.